also known as R2C2H2 artivists. You are watching We All Be TV, news free Dixie for the 21st century. Can you dig it? And welcome. Guess who's back? Back again with another one. It's your friend, your brother R2C2H2, the artivist, known as Brother Ron, and this is We All Be, news free Dixie. Oops. Let me see. News free Dixie for the 21st century. Yeah, this is Mercury retrograde. This is a classic Mercury retrograde. Just want to come with you all, directly from the M Town. I know it's been a long time, not necessarily a long time, but it's been long enough. Been just having some situations, not necessarily any entanglements, but some situations that need to be straightened out. Not straightened out, but straightened out in these streets and beyond. Not streets, but streets, y'all. So this is Brother Ron. I just want to come to you. There's so much stuff going on. I hope everybody's all right, who's hearing my voice. Hope you are in a safe, lovable space right now. So much stuff going on. And everybody just needs some cheer, some love, not only to be loving, but also be lovable, be able to receive and give that, stuff, that loving stuff. So I want to talk about this PnB rock situation. I just want to get on here real quick. I didn't know who he was. It's like one of them things, like you get a certain age, you age out, really a lot of the culture is catered towards the young people, towards the youth. So you get a certain age, like I know I used to listen to the radio, I used to watch BET, MTV, the box. I'm dating myself when the box. Remember the box? You'd be called the jukebox at one point, but then calling the box, where you can order a video by request, right? The box, right? So that I'm a 90s baby, born in the 80s, but raised in the 90s, born into the 90s, so to speak. But I can remember, but the culture is really catered towards the young. And so I'm a type of cat. I still haven't listened to Kendrick Lamar's latest album yet. Not because I don't love Kendrick Lamar. He's fantastic. He's phenomenal. I'm just one of them dudes, like, I'm going to take my time. I want to let all the hype and hoopla die down. Then I dig into the crates. Then I digest the information. Then I come with my own opinion. I'm trying to do, I might wait a year or two to listen to somebody. I even respected Lamar's album or song or whatever. I haven't listened to like the whole Beyonce thing. But I'll tell you this, I love the Church Lady song. Not only about the controversy, it's well done. And I believe, Beyonce could be a bruja or sorceress. I mean, she's really good with that stuff. She knows about that spirit cooking and all that stuff. Jay-Z and them hang out with the enlightened ones. Make no mistake about it, allegedly. They don't shy away from that. They embrace that stuff. But that Church Lady thing is well done. Beyonce is a extraordinary artist, one of the all-time great entertainers. You got to give her due. She's up there, but nobody surpasses Michael Jackson in my book. They talked about Chris Brown. Chris Brown was on his way, but they slowed him down. But Chris Brown is very, very talented. I mean, I enjoyed when Chris came on the scene back in the 2000s. You knew this young man was going to do something extraordinary and special. But they kind of threw a monkey wrench in that plan. Rihanna. I remember Rihanna came out, Riri, whatever y'all call her. I liked the first album. Some of y'all didn't care for it. I liked it. I rock with Rihanna. I thought it was different, unique. She didn't have like the greatest voice, but she had her own little thing. She had her own lane. So I respect that. And you look at Rihanna now, she's a billionaire. And I thought Chris Brown would be where Rihanna is. And not saying that Chris Brown didn't make, people paying $1,000 to take selfies with Chris Brown at the concert. So he has a strong and loyal fan base, but they really did their job into undermining that man's brand. But he's still a hell of a musician. They took him from being Michael Jackson to being Bobby Brown, but Bobby Brown's very talented. Bobby Brown was the king of R&B for a minute. He had a reign. He had a rain. He made it rain. He had a rain. I love Bobby Brown back in the day, man. Bobby Brown was the man. I remember even when he did that Ghostbusters song, it still is great to listen to now. It aged wonderfully. But it's crazy. You just can't predict these futures. Like if you told me that Whitney Houston and Whitney's and Bobby's child, Bobby Christina, would be ancestors, and Bobby Brown still be around, I thought you was smoking something. Because Bobby Brown, I remember he got shot at clubs and cars flipping over, all types of stuff back in the day. But Bobby started a second family. Not only did he lose Bobby Christine, he lost the other son to some drug situation, sticky icky stuff. I think Bobby Christina and that son was born not too far apart from each other, different baby mamas. But Bobby Brown is the man. He lived an extraordinary life, and it's a blessing to still have that brother here, because I remember when Whitney passed, Bobby was with New Edition performing in the Memphis area. I remember that weekend, that Saturday that Whitney passed, right before Valentine's Day. It's like, right before the Grammys on that Sunday. She passed on that Saturday at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And Bobby and New Edition were performing at the Landers Center in South Haven, which is a suburb. South Haven is a suburb of Memphis, even though it's in Mississippi. It's right across the state lines. So Bobby found out that Whitney passed while he was performing with New Edition. And Bobby, to his credit, was a soldier, man. He was a soldier. Well, he is a soldier. He actually performed. The fans, they were there for him, his brothers. I mean, I guess he was in the best place to be, to hear that type of news, to be surrounded by his brothers, the New Edition crew, and with his loving and adorable fans giving him emotional support as well. So I ain't gonna forget that weekend with Whitney passed, all this stuff. It was weird that Clive Davis still had his pre-Grammy ritual or party while his protege lay butt ass naked on a cold bathroom floor a few floors above him. And Shaka Khan said she couldn't do it. And I God bless Shaka Khan. She's still a true national treasure. And she told people, like, look, Whitney was doing her thing. Girl from New Jersey. She a around the way girl. She was already on that stuff before she met Bobby, because people blame Bobby. Everybody hates Bobby, but Bobby didn't put her on that stuff. She was already on that thing. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Okay. So, Ron, we gonna get to the point. Well, I'm saying, like, my mentor, Mr. Emerson Abel Jr., who was Isaac Hayes' high school band director, who had the nerve, the audacity to kick out the one and only Isaac Hayes out of the high school band at Manassas. They had the audacity to work for Isaac Hayes and for his Isaac Hayes movement at Stax. That's my Jegna, Mr. Emerson Abel Jr. He's a righteous ancestor now, but he will always tell me, Run, nobody dies a natural death in show business. Nobody dies a natural death in show business. So this is why I'm doing this show today, to remind everybody, nobody dies a natural death in show business, and to also remember, in the immortal words of the late great, only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace, Notorious B.I.G. You're nobody to somebody kills you. Also, to live and die in L.A., Tupac Machiavelli. Telling y'all, messages in the music, message. So here we are. So let's talk about this. Notorious B.I.G. was taken out at the intersection of Fairfax and Wilshire. And I went there to pay my respects on the 20th anniversary year. And let me tell you about LA, because people, I see people doing their podcast. Everybody, LA stuff. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Radio. Tariq been delivering some gems of late. I really been enjoying listening to this master communicator work his stuff on a Tariq Radio. Shout out to Tariq, homeboy from Alabama, but LA too. He's from LA too, and he's doing what he do. But I just want to weigh on this because this really hit me. I was out in LA 5 years ago. I went to LA twice in 1 year. LA is an amazing place. It's a foodie heaven. I mean, it's amazing food trucks, best hole in the wall Mexican restaurants in the world. I mean, I had the best Mexican pizza, and it wasn't Taco Bell. It was at this hole in the wall place near LAX. I mean, they had a phenomenal taco Mexican pizza. Excuse me. They actually had the olives. I remember when Taco Bell, maybe I'm in the Mandela effect, but Taco Bell used to have olives and everything on their Mexican pizza back in the 90s. And I fell in love with it, but they just changed it up when they got into the 2000s, like Cash Money in the 2000s and all that. They changed it up. I don't know, it was an olive shortage or whatever, but I love olives, but that's another story. But I had the best Mexican pizza at that hole in the wall in LA. Then if you love burgers, hamburgers, I mean, you got Kevin Hart just opened up his plant-based fast food restaurant. I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. The next time I am in Los Angeles, even though I love meat, I'll try it out because I heard some interesting reviews about the Kevin Hart plant-based chicken sandwiches and hamburgers, and the fries is fries. But if you're looking for a great hamburger, you got In-N-Out. In-N-Out to me is like what McDonald's supposed to taste like in a perfect world. But I'm not an In-N-Out guy. I'm more of a fat burger. I love fat burgers. A fat burger reminds me of them big burger, juicy burgers I used to get, like going to places in Memphis like A.L.L barbecue. I grew up on those type of burgers. Fat burger, yeah, that's old school to me. I love fat burger. Like every time I went to Los Angeles, I made sure I went to a fat burger. It's like every time I go to St. Louis, I'm always going to the White Castle. So I got to make the pilgrimage. It's like certain places I go to, I'll try to make sure I check in. Like, sometimes when I used to go to Texas, I will make sure I go to Whataburger. Now we got Whataburgers in Memphis, South Haven. That's the one I go to. That's just recently opened Whataburgers. About time. I had to go all the way to Texas just to get a Whataburger. So I'm one of them dudes. I associate certain food places with certain places I love to visit. So LA, land of the hamburger, of the burgers, man. Like Tommy Burger. I know Judge Joe Brown told me about the Tommy Burger. It's like a double cheeseburger with chili, hot burn, but you'll love it. I love LA. There's so many different places out there. I mean, even like Johnny Pastrami's. Like you think pastrami is the East Coast, even Midwest thing, but they got one of the top pastrami places out in Los Angeles. It's called Johnny's Pastrami's. Then you got talking about food. I think we're talking about PnB Rock, where he did get killed at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And I'm gonna talk about Roscoe's, and I'm gonna talk about PnB Rock. But Randy's Donuts by LAX in Inglewood. I guess that's Inglewood, right? LAX is in Inglewood. Randy's Donuts, some of the best donuts in the country. It gotta be. You can eat those donuts. It don't have to be like, like Krispy Kreme, it will be, you got to get them at a certain time. Krispy Kreme tastes best when you get them out the oven, fresh out the oven, right? With a Randy's Donuts, you can eat them. It don't need to be hot. It could be cold. It could be sitting up for a day. Them junks are good. Randy's Donuts. I think Snoop Dogg did What's My Name. He was on top. Was it on Randy's Donuts? Did Randy's Donuts make a cameo in What's My Name? Snoop Dogg, yeah. Dog. That's over 30 years ago, I think. I can't believe it. It's like 30 years ago. But LA is a foodie heaven, man. That's all I got to say. I love LA. So the first place I went to when I went to LA back in April 2017, my first time ever visiting LA, the first place I went to was Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And the Roscoe's, they said that the brother got killed at was not the one in Inglewood. It's weird how they misreported the Roscoe's. I know when I saw the footage yesterday, I said, That's not the Roscoe's I went to near the LAX. He got, I think that's Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I think this is Manchester. Is that near the one near the LAX? That's the one I went to. And it didn't look like that one when I saw this. Somebody say, nah, he was deep in Watts or somewhere. That actually Roscoe's was in Watts area. And I've been to Watts, you know what I'm saying? And I said LA is an interest. Like I was playing my NWA, going through Compton. I was minding my P's and Q's and all that. I wasn't looking for no trouble, very low key. I'm not the type of cat that's very flashy. I play my music loud. Like I got pulled over by some cops in Beverly Hills for bumping my Juicy J too loud. I got the footage of that uploaded to the We All Be TV channel. And speaking of that, we played it. Okay, put my keep on this Mercury retrograde. But and I'm not looking at the comment section. I'll read it at the end. But I'm trying to get a point about the feel of LA for folks who never been to LA. It's cool. You know, LA is an interesting place. It's like everybody's from somewhere else. It's like it's two LAs. You got the Hollywood thing, then you got the regular LA with the people, man. People cool out there. White folks are interested now in LA. They're very like it's like a very elitist racism out. It's like it's weird. It's like a very snobbish racism. Like they just don't think that black people got any type of intelligence at all. I'm from the South. I know all type of different type of racism. I've been up to Oregon that same year. Ain't no black people really in Oregon. Maybe 20 black folks in Portland. And I didn't feel uncomfortable, but it just ain't that many black folks out in Portland because Oregon had it in its constitution back in 1859 when it became a state that black folks could not work, own property, or live in Oregon for years. It wasn't really until the middle of the 20th century, around World War II, that Oregon started getting a distinctive black population because of the wartime industry. But getting back to LA, I'm just all over the place. I'm sorry about that. But the first place I went to when I visited LA back in April 2017 was to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And the one I went to was the one they claimed that PnB Rock got shot at, which was not true. He got shot at one in Watts. This is Inglewood. And really, it's a tourist attraction. I think that's the same one that President Obama went to when he was campaigning. He went to that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles because they got pictures of Obama eating waffles and chicken at that location. And I believe I saw one of the owners of Roscoe Chicken and Waffles walking around the premises. So that's a popular touristy area. Then I went to the original one on Glower Street, I believe, near Hollywood, in the Hollywood area. I went to that one. Actually, the dude, Willard Pugh. Y'all may not know that name, but that's the cat who played Harpo in The Color Purple. He is like a childhood friends with my mom. They knew each other since they was like in diapers. They went to elementary school together and everything. So Harpo or Willard Pugh, shout out to him. We had an interest in following out. It's like some Training Day Denzel stuff. And I'm gonna say that story for either a short story or a movie or something, because like I can't make up the stuff that happens to me, and I don't tell everybody everything that goes on. I met Hillary from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air this past weekend, and she may be making an appearance on We All Be. Karen Parsons, and she looks good, boy. She still looks sexy, and she aged well, like fine wine. But anyway, getting back to that, hey, I went to that Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. Stuff was good. It lived up to the hype, man. I loved it. That was my first meal in LA at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And my last meal in LA, when I went there a second time back in the summer of 2017, was at that same Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I didn't feel out of place there. I didn't pick up on any funny vibes or gang stuff, nothing like that. It was a really cool, chill place. I felt comfortable. And you really gotta, develop your intuition wherever you may go in life, because anything can happen in any place, anytime, anywhere. I don't have this thing about you can't go to certain places because the hood. You know what's funny about the hood? The hood really don't exist. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the hood could be taken out of here. They can eminent domain the hood. They could pave over the hood with streets and whatnot. They could build up condominiums where they knock down the projects, and the same place would have been the projects for generations becomes high-priced real estate. So don't let nobody trick you into thinking that the hood is a real place. No, it only exists because the system wants it to exist. And when the system is tired of it existing, it gets rid of it, like it tries to get rid of people of a certain hue and type. You understand, or do you understand what I'm saying? The hood don't really exist. It's a figment of our collective imagination, and we manifest our realities. This is a matrix. They manifest realities. We all are in our own movies. We like 7 billion different versions of reality that we all kind of intersect, So what I'm trying to say is, when people say, well, he shouldn't have been there. Why not? He could move freely. Like, it's funny about, even with gangbangers, you dying for stuff you don't own. Even if you pay property over the stuff that you die over, the government could come in at any time and eminent domain that. They'll give you fair market value. That's about it. You don't really see the thing about people they own. You don't own nothing. If you got to pay license on it or a tax on it, that means you don't own it. You don't own it. So it's funny because I even went to the Watchtower. The Watchtower was built by an Italian man. I went to the Watchtower. I didn't feel, I was looking around. Hell, I went doing when there was some daylight outside. I was in Watch about the Charles Mingus Center. Charles Mingus, one of the greatest jazz musicians who ever walked this planet, arguably the greatest upright bass player in the history of the world. He's from Watts. So they got the Charles Mingus Center there near the Watts Tower. And that's an iconic building or structure. I had to go and pay my respects before I got out of there, because I was in South LA. I went to the grocery store that was ran and owned by a black woman. They did that video on Facebook 5 years ago where a brother interviewed his sister who owned a grocery store in Compton. So I think that's Compton. I went in Compton, and it reminded me of South Memphis. Man, those streets, raggedy pothole streets and all that stuff. I said, it's just like Memphis. But we don't got the palm trees and stuff. But they got the potholes like we got back home. And I went to that grocery store. I wish I would have met the sister, but I just was like, want to pay my respects. Black-owned grocery business. Brought some stuff from the store. And I didn't feel like weird. I gotta wash my colors and all that. I didn't feel all that because I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not looking to disrespect anybody's neighborhood. See, the thing about people is, it's like when that Asian guy, that Asian American dude from Kansas City, I believe. I think he was from Kansas City, from somewhere. He's from the state. The guy that went to Sentinel Island, whatever, over there in the Asian Pacific, whatever. And they counsel him because he tried to bring that Christianity stuff to those people they ain't want it. Like when a Jehovah's Witness comes to your door, they ring the doorbell, ring ding dong, ring a ding 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 dong, and nobody answers. You hiding. Everybody's quiet, holding their breath. They say, hell, F that. We're going to just take you out of here, bro. You out of here. You counseled. So, I come in there with respect, and I ain't trying to look for no trouble. Not saying that you may not, I'm not even saying PnB Rock was looking for trouble. But sometimes trouble can find you because life is like that. Death don't play any favorites. So, yeah, I went through the hood and all that stuff. I went during the daytime. I ain't mess around on nighttime because I didn't know myself. I didn't know A.L.L. I stayed in certain places that a lot of folks say, oh, you shouldn't have stayed in there. I don't know. Los Angeles is so spread out. I don't know. And California is just expensive. It's expensive to visit out there. So you got to have your money right, or a sponsor or something to be out there moving a certain way. So, it's interesting. Like LA, I'm due for a visit. The women are interested in California, and women are pretty cool out there. The sisters are cooperative, and I think I got a decent fan base. I'd love to meet them wonderful sisters in person. They keep my hope up because, like, I'm in Memphis and I have black women, even women my family said, you ain't gonna be able to have no black women around. You have to get you, white girls, some other girl. I said, why y'all telling me this? Why y'all encouraging me to get off of this plantation and go beyond? And then, like, oh, Ron, you so pro-black, but you got this other. And I'm really trying to give my women, the sisters, a chance. I'm trying to give myself a chance. But the dating scene is crazy out here. I would suggest, if you are in a relationship right now, try to work it out. Try to go to couples therapy or whatever. Do what you got to do. Try to work it out, because it is hard out here to deal in this climate with the opposite sex. I'm talking about, if you're a man trying to find a woman. If you're a woman trying to find a man, it is tough out here because people just is weird. I have people be dialing me by accident. They'll say, "Oh, I'm looking for so and so." I said, "This is not so and so. You got the wrong number." "Oh, I got a number." I don't know if they some sex workers. I don't know who these people are. They be dialing my number by accident, trying to start a conversation with me. We share a photograph. I don't know if these people are real. The government agents. This is the life I lead. I don't know. I just got to take risks. I take chances. Like I said, I go to places like L.A. I don't know. I ain't supposed to be around here around this time. I didn't know I ain't supposed to be wearing this. But it's funny. I go to places like Los Angeles. I remember I met a college classmate, a white brother that had respect for. He lives out in LA. He works at USC, or he was working at USC at the time. USC in the hood. And I told him, I was in the cafeteria of this place. I said, it's weird because people know who I am. I'm not necessarily a celebrity, but people know who I am. I said, you see that black couple, that beautiful black sister with that brother? I'm gonna prove so. I'm gonna say, I bet they know who I am. He said, I want to see this. So I went over to that table. I said, hey man, I know you don't know me like this, but I'm Brother Ron. And then he said, you Brother Ron from We All BTV? Yeah. So he told this girl, you know Brother Ron's sister? And I thought this sister was from Ethiopia. She had beautiful skin tone, high bone structure. She's from America, FBA. Beautiful sister. I wish I took a picture with her. I mean, I took a picture with them. I think it was a couple, but he was just, like my publicist running down my accolades, talking about, my relationship with Dick Gregory and Judge Joe Brown and stuff like that. And my white colleague was surprised. I said I was proving a point. People do know me. I don't necessarily know them, but they know my work. The work precedes me. So it's interesting going to places like LA or even Brooklyn or Harlem or whatever. And I don't have the biggest following, all that stuff. But people tell me, I respect what you do, bro. I've been listening. You put me on to this and that. So I respect that. So it's very humbling to know that the work is not in vain. But going to LA, man, it's like, it's cool, man. I love LA, man. I mean, I upload some of my stuff in LA up here. I interview some interesting people. You like a homeless brother in LA. I talked to, and the interview is available on We All BTV. A beautiful mind and spirit. I don't know what that brother is now. But that brother, he's very inspiring, and I probably will post that interview in the community section sometime soon. But I'm saying all this to say that PnB Rock should not have had to fear for his life while he was eating chicken and waffles with his family. That's ridiculous. And really, the more I look into it, it sounds like a setup. And I'm not blaming his girlfriend or his lady friend. It's deeper than that because, from my understanding, at one point in his career, he was signed to Empire Records. I'm reading this article about him being signed. Empire Records has this like notorious or infamous track record of their artists getting snuffed out, not even in a prime. I'm talking about artists like Mo3 from Dallas, I'm talking about King Von from Chicago. I'm talking about, of course, XXS Tentacion. You could talk about, of course, Young Dolph out of the 901 or 901. Hometown legend and hero Young Dolph in Memphis. It's about 6 of them in all. They had connections, including PnB Rock to Empire Records. And, people talking about how these record labels taking out these life insurances on these artists. And quite frankly, a lot of y'all are spooked out about that, but I'm not, because I'm currently paying for my life insurance as I speak. So don't expect when that day comes, I'm not gonna need no GoFundMe fish fry to bury my whatever assets or the cremate or what they're gonna do with me. I'm paying for my life insurance right now. I've been paying for it for years. I find a way to pay for it. So that's not weird. I think more people should be getting into getting life insurances on them, because we all got to go one day. Allegedly, they tell us we all got to die, but who really knows? I believe there's vampires out there, but that's another podcast for another day. But you start reading the names of people who have passed in the last several years connected to Empire Records and PnB Rock. These are all so-called independent artists, but they're connected to Empire, I guess, for distribution and all that stuff. But you think about okay, Cash Money, No Limit. They had some interesting distribution deals, but Master P and Baby still around, still caked up. But these cats can't even make it out their 20s and 30s. But Baby and Master P, Percy Miller, they still around, shaking up, moving things. But these cats can't make it out their 20s and 30s. So it's fascinating. And I wasn't even familiar with PnB Rock like that. Like I said, a lot of this rap stuff, this cultural stuff is catered towards the young. They buy all the stuff. They want to go to the concerts, get the merch, streaming all that stuff. And I'm an elder. Like people keep on calling me Unc. It's funny how cats be calling you Unc, and they in their 20s, but you look younger than them. But I'm an Unc though. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take your girl. You ain't gonna say nothing. Unc still got that wood. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Unc got that wood. But anyway, it's fascinating. And even Young Dolph talking about selling his soul on that Paper Route Empire compilation that came out the summer before he got killed, got popped in smoke. Y'all casting spells. I know y'all don't believe in it, but words do create worlds. These rappers are casting spells, but a lot of times they're not casting it for their benefit. They're undermining their own liberation because everything that glitters and shines ain't gold, man. It's fool's gold, man. So you really gotta be careful out here. But for people, let me just post something right quick. Let me post something. Get an understanding that this is bigger than rap, bigger than hip hop, bigger than all that. Remember when they said Prodigy from Mobb Deep choked on the egg? That's cold for something. He died in the same place where his so-called nemesis Tupac died, right? In Las Vegas, like a year removed from the 20th anniversary of Tupac's passing. But Prodigy one of the first people to really talk about the Illuminati in hip-hop. Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me, right? Something like that. But he talked about that openly in his lyrics, and he's taken out of here. Pac talked about the Illuminati. He said, kill it, Illuminati. Kill that noise, kill it. They took him out of here. Beyonce, Jay-Z, they talk about it. And even like AZ, he talked about the Illuminati. AZ is just an underrated rapper to me. He's one of my favorite rappers growing up. The Do or Die he did. It came out in the 90s. That's a classic album to me. He don't get enough shine, but AZ, he talked about the Illuminati in his debut album. It's funny how people forget or don't want to recall. But this is why We All Be is here. We all be to save the day. Here I am to save the day. Spread around. Okay. So I'm trying to keep this under an hour. I'm all over the place, but let's see. I hope I'm coming in loud and clear. I'm trusting that I'm coming in loud and clear. Let me want to share this screen. Here I come to save the day. Okay. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. I'm gonna read that. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. But a gangster party. See, Big Paul Castellano got dropped in front of Sparks Steakhouse in Midtown Manhattan. It's been happening in Manhattan, Abba the Mad Hatter Anastasia got popped at the barbershop. Could get cut by pop at the barbershop at the Park Sheraton Hotel. Crazy Joe Gallo got rubbed out at a birthday dinner with family at Umberto's Clam House in Little Italy. Never forget, that death doesn't care about fame, infamy, location, prestige, profession, reputation, or status, man. See how it works? Somewhere. All right. Y'all got it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So that's what it's about. As Dick would say. So maybe I need to remind y'all. Let's read that one more time. Read it one more time. I mean, I need to remind. Read it one more time. Because people keep talking about, well, he shouldn't have been at Roscoe's eating chicken and waffles with his girl and family. I think they said he had a little one with him as well. You know, it's kind of weird. They reported at a different Roscoe. They had the wrong Roscoe's. So you don't know what to believe. But let me show that again for clarification and elevation. Big Paul Castellano got dropped in front of Sparks Steakhouse in Midtown Manhattan. Albert the Mad Hatter Anastasia, that's the cat who ran Murder Inc. Not the it's murder, but it's murder, man. The real Murder Inc. The Mad Hatter, the Lord High Executioner. He got popped at the barbershop at the Park Sheraton Hotel. Crazy Joe Gallo got rubbed out at his birthday dinner. This happened April 7, 1972, with family at Umberto's Clam House. He had his wife and daughter present with his bodyguards. He got rubbed out while he tried to eat some clam chowder. Clam chowder, okay? In Little Italy. Never forget that death doesn't care about fame, infamy, location, prestige, profession, reputation, or status, man. See how it works? Somewhere. Bigger than hip hop, bigger than the mob. Rest in peace, PnB Rock, not just LA. So y'all got the memo. So I want to make it plain, as Malcolm would say. Y'all keep on talking about he should have been in this place. Young Dolph should not been getting no cookies in South Memphis. That's his neighborhood. It was no hitters from his neighborhood that got him. And like I said, Memphis is notorious for making homicides look like accidents or random acts of violence. There's nothing random about the crime in Memphis. It's very strategic about what they do. Like I'm downtown, you know what I'm saying? Just recently, not too long ago, me and 19 other of my neighbors had our cars vandalized, broken into, and we were right by the post office. We were right by the Civil Rights Museum. We were right by the train station. But you know what they told us last week when we had our neighborhood meeting? They said we got 86,000 people live downtown, only 77 police officers. You got 77 police officers for 86,000 residents. And I'm gonna save all this for my podcast about the part 2 about what's going on with Memphis. Burn the village to fill its warmth. There's a lot of things to talk about, and I'm in the town, and I'm part of the solution. But the problem is Memphis is a white patriarchy plantation town. It's a white patriarch plantation town. People are dumbed down. You got black folks that are in positions of so-called power. They are the gatekeepers for the white patriarchs that actually own and run this town. They do nothing for the people. A lot of these folks, they try to get rich off the people's. You got a position where you're getting paid tens of thousands of dollars a month. Why do you need to try to scam the people, man? That's why we as a people ain't gonna go nowhere, because we as a people are always trying to undermine, undercut, undervalue each other. We got to stop that. And really, quite frankly, it really takes a small group of committed people that benefits the whole. It's not everybody getting in on this. That's what's wrong with black people. Y'all want everybody to get in. It's like you saying, like when you calling a Vietnamese person Korean, that's an insult. Yeah, we Asians, but we got Indians over here, we got Koreans over there, we got Taiwanese over here, Vietnamese over there, different groups within a group. Just like black folk, we ain't all part of the same tribes. We got different tribes within the group. And I'm not going to waste time trying to convince folks, hey, you got to get with us. We got the solution. I'm working with folks that know that, hey, I want to work with you. I see what you're doing. You see what I'm doing. We communicating. We on the same page. They're my peoples. Not always skin folk. Not always kinfolk, all right? It's not always blood. It's not always appearances that make them people your people. So we got to get beyond that and get more sophisticated. But I read those names. Those are gangsters, of course. Sparks Steakhouse is a very expensive, world-class steakhouse in New York City, right? And John Gotti didn't give a damn about killing his boss at the steakhouse. Didn't even allow that man to get a good prime rib or whatever, strip or whatever. He said, damn that, we're going to kill this dude in front of the steakhouse in Manhattan. This ain't the hood. This is Manhattan, Midtown, right before Christmas, man, during the holiday season. He didn't give a damn. Albert Anastasia was getting a haircut at the Park Sheraton Hotel. This ain't the projects. It's the Park Sheraton Hotel, Midtown, Manhattan. And they came in and blew him away while he's getting the shade. Crazy Joe was in Little Italy, of course, okay, at a restaurant, very popular restaurant, open for only several months before he came there. I think it was only open. I think he got opened in March of '72 on Berto's. Now it's at a different location. It's not the same location that where the hit happened on Crazy Joe on Mulberry Street. It's on a different location on Mulberry Street, from my understanding. But he was sitting down having a late or early birthday dinner or breakfast, whatever, with his wife and daughter and bodyguards and entourage, and they didn't give a damn it was his birthday. They rubbed him out in front of his family. They didn't give a damn. They shot him 5 times in front of his daughter. They didn't give a damn. See, I keep on talking about, well, he shouldn't have been at that Roscoe's. And we sound like some fools. Don't y'all know that the government created the gangs? Did you know when they killed people like Apprentice Bunchy Carter and the Fred Hamptons and people like that, they created the bastards of the party? This is what's going on now. When they took the men out the household, you got all these young black males going on murder sprees in Memphis, robbing and vandalizing people's cars and whatnot, getting slapped on the wrist by Zaddy. What's going on? It's not just a Memphis thing, because people come, oh, it's Memphis. It's like when people talk about it's an L.A. thing. No. Shit, Bugsy Siegel got killed in Beverly Hills. They popped their smoke in the Hollywood Hills. Crime, Clarence Avant, the so-called black godfather of black music in the industry, his wife got killed in an alleged home invasion. Alleged in Beverly Hills. Crime is everywhere. And really, crime is in the high places, not only in the streets, but also in the suites. The people who create policy create crime. Because like they got that nuisance thing that Tariq talk about, where a business have a situation, a gang situation, some act of so-called gang violence occur at a black business, the city come and shut the business down, own the property, and sell it to somebody else. That's a form, to me, a gentrification, hostile takeover. Ain't no different what they did to black folks in Rosewood in 23, or Tulsa in 21, or even in Lane in 1919. We can go on and on and on and on and on. I'm saying, stop going for that okie doke. Folks get killed everywhere, anywhere. They kill black folks doing Bible study middle of the week down in Charleston, right? Mother AME, Mother Emmanuel AME Church, June 2015. They were doing Bible study. They blew up 4 little girls in September '63 at church doing Sunday school. Y'all talking about, well, you shouldn't have been eating chicken and waffles in the hood. Shit, I go to a chicken waffle place in the hood. I mean, y'all like, I love being among my people. I love my space. It's not about me being afraid of my people. I'm a loner, man. I mean, I'm not antisocial. I know how to get along with people. I know how to communicate with people, but I move by myself a lot. I like being by myself and eating with myself. I'm a best friend with me and myself and I, And if them boys gonna get you, they're gonna get you. Shit, presidents have security. They got the president down in Haiti last year. Nobody talks about that Haitian president getting assassinated. Was it in Haiti? Yeah, with Haiti, right? They came into his home. He put head bodyguards. Shit, they got Kennedy in Dallas. They got President Kennedy. He had bodyguards. And when it's your time sometimes. But sometimes you got to question the timing of everything. Like I said, PnB Rock, the 6th artist connected to Empire Records, taken out of here. He just dropped a new single on September 2nd. And now he out of here. I'm sure they got some stuff in the tank they're going to put out. Like Mo 3. They got to drop some Mo 3 stuff. And Mo 3 was just on that hot boxing with Mike Tyson with Little Boosie. And then next thing you know, soon as Little Boosie introduced Mo 3 on the Mike Tyson thing, he out of here. You know, they tried to get Little Boosie down in Dallas when he was paying respect to his comrade. Luckily, he survived. But what I'm saying is, this is bigger than hip hop. This is bigger than a lot of stuff that a lot of us can't even comprehend, because most of us are pawns in a game we don't know the rules to. That's why we can't rule, because we don't know how to play the game. Like even football game. A lot of y'all crazy, football crazy. I don't care if the water is non-existent, ain't drinkable down in Jackson. Y'all don't care about black girls being kidnapped every day, or we don't care about that, but we care about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. We care about them. How about them Buffalo Bills? They're gonna get it this time. We care about, you know, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City and all that stuff. You care about things that really don't add any value to your life. Things that add value to our lives, we don't even take the time to invest in, let alone know that they exist. These so-called entities that can add value to our lives. So with PnB Rock, I don't know no PnB Rock, but the peanut butter and jelly rock. And to me, he looked like a updated version of Will Smith. Like he would, if Will Smith came around in this time period, he would be PnB Rock, because they both from Philly. And I like Philadelphia cats. Philly guys got a different swagger. I respect the swagger of Philly guys. Y'all just move different, and there's much respect to the Philly crew, because y'all do y'all thing the way y'all do y'all thing. But for what I have read about him and the music I just recently listened to, very talented dude. And it's interesting, him and Triple X Tentacion did a song together called Middle Child. I listened to that last night, and they both out here. These guys transcended the rap genre. They was pushing the envelope, and really they the children of Drake. These are Drake's children. You know what I'm saying? Because like they follow his blueprint. You know, like even what's his name? PnB Rock said that he was influenced by Drake's debut album at 19 to do what he's doing, what he was doing. And you think about Pop Smoke. I mean, it's different vibrations they were bringing, and they out of here. Juice World, cats are out of here. Yeah, Draco the Ruler. That's another Empire connected artist. Los Angeles artist got killed this year. This year is weird because it seems like it's long and short, because it's things that happened this year I thought happened a year or two ago. And it's like the year is so weird, like time is moving fast and slow at the same time. Maybe I'm the only person that feel like that. For me, time is moving fast and slow. And it's weird. It's strange. Oh my God. But stop blaming his girlfriend. Normally women are good about having intuition about these type of things. That's interesting. Like they said, the girlfriend gave up the location through the Instagram by taking a picture. I take pictures of my food all the time, but I make it a rule. It's like really, it's not rules. It's the fact that I just be falling behind. I don't like to post in real time where I'm at. Most of the time I don't do that. It's like it's weird. Like I know people, they go out the country and they'll share. I'm in Greece right now, uploading all these pictures from Greece in real time, right? Now I realize you got folks following you on social media. I know it's so and so live. Hey, they out of the country. Let's go and hit them up, get a lick. And people, I know a person, good people. She was posting that she was out of the country. I think she was in Cuba, posting to her social media. She come back home. She a musician and an organizer, community organizer. They stole her laptop and everything. She had stuff, valuable footage of things she done that she no longer had. She didn't back it up on a cloud or anything. It's gone. I don't know how you recover from all your stuff being gone like that, but it happens. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't like posting about me from out the country or even out of the city or out of town. I don't like letting people know that I'm out of town in real time. I wait, come back and post what I've been through, so I'll be at home, whatever. But just being paranoid, man. But if it's your time, it's your time. But with the PnB Rock thing, I wouldn't blame his lady friend. She already going through it. It's like it's called that guy Rashard Brooks. There's a guy Rashard, the brother got killed in Wendy's, who fell asleep in the drive-through, and that was 2 years ago, right? That happened 2 years. I can't believe that was 2 years ago, right? And they're not gonna bring charges against the police officers who killed him because he woke up, he fallen asleep, drive-through, got into it with the cops, but was running away, right? And they shot him in the back several times, from my understanding. And Paul Howard was the DA. He promised that he was going to bring charges against these cops, but the people did not feel like he was up, I guess, capable, and they voted him out of office. They got that sister down there, Big Mama Rico. I call her Big Mama Rico. She sent out them rappers to prison over lyrics, treat them like they John Gotti or somebody. And John Gotti killed his boss up at Spark Steakhouse. She treated them like they John Gotti or Al Capone. Them guys about to get these football numbers on their Rico, about Big Mama Rico, like giving them football numbers. But she kicked the case up to somewhere else, and they passed on it. It was no grand jury, nothing like that. They just didn't prosecute him, and they walked free. And this dude got killed, I believe, on his daughter's birthday. And probably his woman probably regret that. I just should have picked them up. Cause I think they went somewhere, but they went in separate cars. Maybe they should have went in the same car. And the fact that every year his daughter got to think about him getting killed on her birthday or around the time of her birthday, there's got to be some trauma that probably going to transcend generations. So I mean, this stuff is real out here. It's like even when PnB Rock talked about he started moving differently because his brother got killed. His big brother got killed. And he says it's real out here. And also he was on DJ Academics recently. DJ Academics, very popular hip hop news journalist and all this stuff, very popular personality. He actually interviewed PnB Rock about rappers being robbed in LA, which is kind of eerie because he basically said, I don't want to never say I've been robbed. He said, I've never been robbed at that point. But he said, I don't want to put the word never on there because he said, I ain't trying to be superstitious or nothing, but look what happened. Just days later, he get robbed at a chicken and rob. Who will go? Nobody gonna think they're gonna get robbed like that. And no Roscoe, and nobody else was injured or targeted but him. Nobody else was injured or targeted but him. So yeah, it was somebody that was watching his moves. And I gotta tell people are always watching. Even when you think you by yourself, there's somebody always watching. The feds is watching. The feds is watching. You know what I'm saying? Look at our computers, our phones. They listening in, they watching us. You think your TV turn on? It ain't turn on. You got satellites. They watching us, man. Look at that Will Smith movie, Enemy of the State. All this stuff they talked about in that movie came out over 20 years ago. It's relevant. Like, 24 years ago, Enemy of the State came out. Take a look. It's online. It's on a on-demand video platform somewhere. Okay? But, yeah, 6 artists connected to the Empire Records out of here, man. And I think they all had big life insurances. I always say this. I hope they took out life insurances for their own selves, for their family. Because the shelf life for a rapper is just really non-existent, it seems. I used to try to tell people, be careful about enlisting in the military. Now you gotta tell people you might want to be careful about wanting to be a rapper. Because it's a hazard. It's more dangerous to be a rapper than it is to be a police officer. Truth be told to me. And I'm in a city where they shoot at police, man. And what's weird, these kids will shoot at the police. They not scared of police. Because people always say, well, y'all gangsters. Y'all scared of the police. The kids in Memphis, these kids, they ain't scared. And that's crazy. And that should let you know how this is government policy. Because you look at L.A., like they say they robbing guys in broad daylight. They blunt with it, man. They're like a Tupac lyric. They ain't try to do all these metaphors and subliminals. They coming straight for the juggler, straight no chaser. So these guys, they play for keeps. But my thing is, people have a right to rock what they want to rock. You should have a right to want nice things. Life is already short. You should be able to rock what you want to rock, but you move a certain way. And sometimes, even if you move a certain way, you still could get caught up because that's just life. You know, it's the same. When you make plans and God laughs, right? So I'm not here to say this is a rap thing. This is bigger than rap. This is a life thing. People are dying daily everywhere. People are getting killed at grocery stores, at elementary schools. So don't tell me about he shouldn't have been in the hood eating some chicken and waffles, or he shouldn't have been in the hood getting some cookies. Don't tell me about that, because that's weird. It's like, you know, it was some years ago in California. I don't know, it was in San Diego. I'm not gonna look it up. Y'all can look it up. It was like a mass shooting at the McDonald's in California. I think it's San Diego, one of them places. Dudes killed a whole bunch of people in McDonald's. But yet people still go to McDonald's. I don't really care for McDonald's because it don't taste the same. And that's another story. Like I said, In-N-Out tastes like what McDonald's supposed to taste like to me. But I don't care for In-N-Out. I'm a fat burger dude. So with that said, you just can't be afraid to live your life. You just can't. Ain't no point of being afraid. Like I said, like the carjacking situation, I always tell people like Memphis, it's not as bad as news say. If it was as bad as the news said it was, I wouldn't go outside. I'm telling y'all, it's probably worse than what the news actually say, and I'm still going outside. I gotta live my life. You know, like even with the cops, you talked to the police last week. This police lady, good sister, she was talking about how even her son's car's getting broken into, and she's the police, and they breaking in her son's cars. And you know, we was asking, can we do something about these kids? Can we shoot back at them? You know, this is real stuff. Like people said, I know neighbors got their vehicles stolen wholesale. I know brilliant musician friends, bringing all type of love and joy into the world by sharing their art form. One brother had his whole van full of guitars and amps and everything stolen. A whole damn van. This guy's well known and respected. Somebody had the nerve to steal all this man's equipment and his van. He also made his living as a mover. So he used his van to not only house his instruments, but also to move stuff for people. And they didn't give a damn. And this is where we at right now. Because even you can't even approach them. You see a kid breaking in your car, they could actually have a gun and try to shoot you. You know, a lot of these car break-ins are not about just stealing cars. They are looking for guns. There are cases where people have left money because they just want the guns. It was a pastor that was recently, his car was broken into. He had $5,000 in offerings in his car. They ain't want the 5,000. They left that. They were looking for his guns. They got his guns. So what is going on with these kids getting these guns? And you don't need a permit to carry here in Tennessee. Memphis is like, it's like almost the wild, wild west, because like even that dude, Ezekiel Kelly, when he was on that murder spree, the last car he stole was a young brother's car. And we're going to talk about the Ezekiel Kelly. I ain't want to talk about it here, but I'm going to touch on it. I'm about to close this out because I'm just all over the place. I'm sorry about that. I gave y'all something. It was on my mind. I gave y'all something, okay? But the last car he stole was in South Haven at the Raceway gas station. And it was a young black man's car. They interviewed him. It was a Dodge Challenger. And he crashed it, and I don't see how the police didn't kill him. Luckily he came back to Memphis. If he had stayed in the good old boys land of Mississippi, them white dudes would have killed him. They would use him for like target practice. Because I remember like a year or so. I mean, like the years are going, like these 2 years is like, it's like a days. It's so much happened in the last 2 years. But this happened within the 2 years. I think this happened in 2020. This young black dude in Fraser. U.S. Marshals came from Biloxi, I believe, out the Gulf Coast, out from Mississippi. I think they were from Biloxi. They came in here. It's like, if you ever seen that movie, Public Enemies, with Johnny Depp playing John Dillinger, that's a good movie. Then Batman playing Melvin Purvis. They came up in here in Memphis. They ain't asked nobody permission or consent. They ain't care about no Memphis Police Department. They ain't care about the Shelby County Sheriff Department. They came up there and it just blew that dude away. Because this guy was going around in Mississippi, then carjacking people. He was, and somebody he shot and carjacked allegedly. Luckily, the person survived. I think that person identified him. They found out, oh, this dude. So they came up to Memphis and just basically bodied him. They bodied the dude. And it was like a mini riot. You know, the people were so upset about what happened, but the Memphis police didn't do that. The Shelby County sheriffs didn't do that. They just came in there and said, look, we ain't gonna action. They did a dirty Harry move and blew that boy away. And some of these kids, they're doing a thing called suicide by cop. So it's not that the police are doing extrajudicial stuff, and a lot of times they are doing it, but a lot of these people want to be suicided by the police. There's a real phenomenon, suicide by cop. That stuff is real. But this dude, I guess, had a death wish, but they blew that boy out of his socks. And the people of Fraser were so traumatized, they started tearing up the block, man. They tore up some police cars. But give credit to the Memphis Police Department, they held restraint. They ain't going there and start bashing people's heads in. It was understood that the U.S. Marshals overstepped their bounds in pursuing this fugitive guy, young guy. You know, you had people coming out on media talking about, now he was a good kid at Central High School. He was an honor student. You had these white teachers and other people. I said, look, man, I'm going to tell y'all something. Memphis is a gangster place. Shit, Machine Gun Kelly. I ain't talking about the rapper. Machine Gun Kelly went to the same high school this dude went to. But it's like almost 100 years ago. He was, I think, Central High School class of 1918 or 1919. But Machine Gun Kelly went to the same high school this dude went to. So I guess if you went back in time, they would say, oh, we would think Machine Gun Kelly would be kidnapping oil executives and stuff like that. You know, Machine Gun Kelly, they caught him in Memphis in a bungalow, I think that still exists, back in the 30s. He's the first criminal in U.S. history to be transported to prison by airplane. See, Memphis is an interesting place. Like a lot of history people don't know. Yeah, Machine Gun, I ain't talking about this rapper Machine Gun. I'm talking about the real Machine Gun Kelly. Like when I was talking about Albert Anastasia, I ain't talking about Irv Gotti, Ja Rule is murder. I'm talking about the real Murder Inc. Gangster. So, yeah, but these kids are lawless. But what's happening is that black males are being left behind. See, it's good to have these programs for black girls and black women, this and that, and black girl magic, but you leaving the men or the boys behind. And our boys are growing into males in a state of arrested development. And this is problematic. See, a lot of the problems that are going to help heal this city got to do with how we treat and raise and honor black males. See, the black male is the answer to what ails society because we getting overly punished. And even the ones that get away, you got black males are being overly punished by the just us system. And this country would never be what it's supposed to be until black males are treated with the concern and respect that we should be. And me being a black man, it is my job, whether I want to or not, to provide a certain type of rites of passage and a foundation for these boys to become men. I don't have no biological kids in my understanding or overstanding, but I am definitely part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I remember, and I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't even know I really touched on PnB Rock the way y'all think I should. My apologies, but what I'm saying is, in a nutshell, with PnB Rock, very talented brother, gone too soon over systemic violence. This is planned out violence by the powers that be. You know, Crips and Bloods were created by the U.S. government. Crips and the Bloods were not created by them Raymond Washington, was not created by them Tookie Williams. You know, it was created by the U.S. government. Like the gangs in Chicago was created by the U.S. government because they cut out the head to the body. They killed the head. They killed the Fred Hamptons. They killed the Bunchy Carters. They imprisoned the Geronimo Pratts. This is what you get, the bastards of the party. So this is what we did. We did with the bastards. Like this is punishment from strong black hetero male leadership from 60 years ago. Y'all can say what y'all want to about the civil rights movement. You had some strong black hetero male energy during that movement that was cut down before they reached their prime. They cut down our leaders before they reached their prime. They imprisoned our leaders. Our leaders had to leave this country. I'm talking about black men. And this is where we at now. There is a vacuum for black hetero male leadership in our so-called community. And this is why the village is being burned, because the men are not there to embrace the youth. So I don't know. Yeah, I was at Southern Heritage Classic. Deion Sanders, Jackson State versus Eddie George's Tennessee State. This is Leslie's the last game that Deion and Jackson State is going to participate in until they get their money right. And I respect that. I love Deion Sanders. I just like, he one of my favorite athletes of all time, but he's an incredible man to be able to deal with them young guys and help them to have a foundation that's going to help them to excel beyond football. He's feeding and investing into them brothers, because Deion, he's a race man. I mean, yeah, he's a lot of people love Deion. He transcends race, but he loves black people. He loves black people. You could tell. I remember it was a story where Deion had his boombox stolen when he just got to Jackson State. Somebody stole his boombox. And it was like old school boombox, but it had special meaning. It had significance to him. And he put out a plea, said, please, y'all, no questions asked, something like that. Please bring my boombox back. I don't know if he gave him a reward or whatever. They gave him his boombox back. I remember somebody, they stole his bag. He put out another plea. They brought his bag back. The streets down, they respect Deion. Kind of like, it reminds me when you hear those stories about the U, about Miami back in the day with Jimmy Johnson before he became part of the Dallas Cowboys. Like Jimmy Johnson could go to any hood in Miami and be safe because they knew who he was. He was like Santa Claus. I'm going to give you a scholarship. It's going to be the pathway for you to become a pro. Get your family out the hood, get them out the ghetto, whatever. That's how they treat Deion down in Jackson. He got that type of respect. And it's good to see a black man get there, because people forget that HBCUs, some of the greatest football players of all time, didn't come from Alabama or USC or Notre Dame. They came out of HBCUs like Mississippi Valley State, Jerry Rice, like Jackson State, Walter Payton, like Tennessee State, Ed Too Tall Jones, like Grambling. How many people came out of Grambling under the great coach Eddie Robinson, including Doug Williams, Super Bowl MVP. So now Deion stepping like a G and making them put respect on HBCU's names. He putting the swagger back. It's kind of like, if you look at it from an organized crime thing, it's kind of like what Frank Matthews did back in the day with the black drug dealers in the country, where they organized their own alternative French connection, but they went through Venezuela, right? And I think he was CIA. That's another story, because Frank Matthews disappeared off the map with his beautiful side piece, never heard from again, with millions of dollars on his person. So they could have took him out, the government, but he organized the brothers. You know what I'm saying? They had their own distribution and everything. Had their own plug and everything. Deion's organizing the HBCUs. So you gotta put some respect in our names, because a couple years from now, they're gonna give Alabama a run for their money. If Deion decides to stay in Jackson, they will be giving Alabama and programs like that a run for their money. So anyway, I think I just went off point. But yeah, thank y'all for listening. And we'll talk some more about this PnB rock thing, but it's always something going to happen. But remember, Empire artists are being taken out. Did they all have life insurance policies on their person? And I hope the families were smart enough I hope the artists were smart enough to get life insurance on their own, on their person, so their families can eat. And who controls their publishing? Like I said, Mo3 got stuff coming out soon, and he been dead since 2020. So they putting this stuff together. And I saw his Instagram today. I didn't know he could sing like that. Man, very talented. See, they get the right ones. That's the sad thing. You check out PnB Rock and Young Dolph and Pop Smoke and so many, but Tekashi is still around. Tekashi 6ix9ine And I try to listen to Tekashi. I can't listen to it. I don't see what the allure is. But I'm not. He's not trying to appeal to a person in my age group, anyways. I don't really count. But I'm just saying, you taking out the most talented of the talented, XX Tentacion. I love that song he did with "Don't Cry" with Lil Wayne. But then you got some stuff with XX Tentacion. He's like the Kurt Cobain of hip hop. I can't listen to this stuff because it brings a tear. It's very emotional. Listen to some of the stuff he put out. But he was speaking to a generation, the same generation that's going around carjacking people and shooting guns and police. He was speaking to those people, and you take them people away from them people. It's like what Tupac said with Thug Life: the hell you give little infants, F's everyone. So thank y'all for listening to me. I'm not the most expertise on PnB rock, but God bless him. He got little ones. I think he got a little one on the way. And that's really sad. You took out a family man, a provider, a protector for, and a rider for his people. You took him out. And people got to live with that. And people talking about with the OGs. The OGs, what OGs? What OGs? Everybody doing their lives and TikToks and stuff. They know OGs no more. Those days are gone, man. Like ain't no more big mamas. And that's another podcast. But anyway, thank y'all so much. And I guess I could read what y'all had to say here. Yeah, like King Von. Now, King Von is interesting. He's an interesting case study because, like, allegedly, he rapped about the people that he killed in his song. He was a hell of a storyteller. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow because I'm a Tupac guy. It's certain people, but King Von had talent. He was gifted at storytelling. But my understanding, he was a stone cold killer. It's kind of like Bugsy Siegel going out to L.A. to play a gangster when you really are a gangster. Like I said, Bugsy Siegel was the idol of Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, he hero worshiped Bugsy Siegel. George Raft, he based his career acting like Bugsy Siegel, the actor. So, I mean, yeah, words create worlds, man. King Von, he knew he was a mark, man. But I mean, saying this is interesting. I don't know who nobody killed. Because, like, let's say King Von was still around. He was down in Atlanta. Big Mama Rico, he'd be in prison right now along with Young Thug and them and Gunna. But he had a reputation for being a killer. Thank I received that. I need that. I need love. There's a lot of haters. I'm a city that thrives on hate, man. And hate is a form of love. But this city, I mean, y'all understand. I be doing stuff in the community. It don't get no traction, but it's funny. These cats all know my name, but they don't want to help me. They see me drowning, but they won't throw out anything to save my ass. But God got me. The Most High got me. Thank you. Yeah, Tekashi, he is a government agent. Like, come on. He is. Because, like, how did he survive the Rico stuff? And the guys he was working with, they doing football numbers. Of course, allegedly. Like I tell Judge Joe Brown, he don't like to hear this, but I said, like, Thurgood was giving up the goods on people to the FBI. And Judge do this. Well, this and that. No, Thurgood couldn't stand Dr. King and Malcolm X. He actually went to a police chief convention down in the Carolinas and told the police officers, y'all need to focus more on undermining, allegedly, the Nation of Islam. And Thurgood is still a great man, but people are complex. Y'all don't do the hero worship no more because everybody's complex. Because it's a saying, you don't want to meet your heroes because you'll meet disappointment. You'll be disappointed. So, I mean, my thing is, it ain't no big deal, but everybody do what they do, man. Everybody move the way they move. Like I said, if black folks are in high positions of so-called power, trust and believe they had to do something to undermine other skin folks and kin folks to get to that position. One way or the other. You just don't get to those type of positions without selling out some of your people. It ain't gonna happen like that. Hey, Sister Barbara, love, a man who says he is a friend of PnB, that he just giving his girlfriend her phone back and says money as good as she can. Okay. I don't know, man. You got, people saying that Pop Smoke, he was set up by a girl that was there that night he got killed. He got popped in smoke. You gotta be careful, women. I'm from a city, man. Our women could be ruthless. I had a high school classmate. His name was Billy. Good looking guy, pretty boy. Girls were crazy about Billy. And he was an upperclassman. I just found out not too long ago that he passed away. I want to say in 2013. This beautiful woman set him up. He was like set him up, got killed. Now she doing football numbers in prison. Good looking woman set him up to get shot. So he out of here, man. So you gotta be careful. Even like you think about Romeo, right? The guy who played Romeo, Merlin Santana, got set up by a girl. So this is nothing unusual. Then we're dealing with the Sweetie Pie murder, right? Murder for hire. Like Tim Norman allegedly put a hit out on his nephew, Andre. And it was a scripper from Memphis that helped set that up. Now, they're trying to say that she didn't know that Tim was going to kill his nephew because she actually brought him an outfit from the mall because she was scripping. I said, I know it's stripping. Scripping. She was scripping in East St. Louis several days out the week, and then she'll commute back to Memphis. So, but Tim called her and said, look, connect with my nephew, whatever. And she did that. Next thing you know, they popped their smoke, Andre. And it is what it is. But yeah, you gotta be careful. Like even John Dillinger, I brought up John Dillinger, the lady in red. He was set up by a woman to get caught up by the feds, outside a movie theater. They called the Biograph Theater, movie theater in Chicago. So y'all keep on talking about he should have been eating chicken and waffles. They kill you anywhere, dude. They'll kill you anywhere. So man, trust you women, man, scandalous out here, man. And them women in L.A., they some hustlers, boy. When we riding like top-notch Mercedes, high-level Mercedes with an EBT card. They be hustling down in L.A., man. Oh, my God. Blessings. Thank you so much. And I'll let you go. This is getting kind of long. I won't get too long, but thank y'all for participating, for the input, for the support. Like the words from Brother Herb, please spread the word. We All Be TV, YouTube. You could cash app your support, $ R2C2H2. You could Google Pay, PayPal, Zelle your support. Email R2C2H2 @gmail.com. That's R2C2H2 @gmail.com. Also, Vimo @R2C2H2. You could buy Artivist art, R2C2H2.com is the website. You can wear Artivist art. Go below the video description box on YouTube, our official Teespring page. Access that. Get the latest designs by yours truly. So before I get out of here, thank y'all so much who all have donated and who gonna donate and buy things and all that stuff. We love you madly. Masters of life insurance. That is the question. Yes, indeed. But when you start seeing these rappers get killed, the first thing people gonna say, were they in any time in their career signing Empire Records? And that's interesting. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. I don't know. That's a good question. It's gonna be this week. I'll think about doing later on tonight, but I might wait till tomorrow to do it. Yeah, you gotta be careful, man. Like people, streets are watching, man. And like I said, it's bigger than some hood stuff. The hood don't really exist. It's a figment of our imagination. We make it real because we feed the beast. No. I would tell people, feed your dreams and your nightmares will starve. Feed your dreams and your nightmares will starve. So thank y'all so much. I'm glad. Let me read this disclaimer. I'm out of here. I can't believe it went by so fast. I'll always be struggling to get on the air, but once I'm on the air, I don't know how to leave. I need to learn how to make an exit. Disclaimer: the news expressed by hosts and guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information, and letting the general public be the ultimate judge and decide on how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. Thank y'all so much. Words of Duke Ellington. We love you madly, but always remember to keep on producing and pushing. And we are out of here. One love, man. Can you dig it? And don't be afraid.